I have here a Redtail Boa. She's 5 foot in length. I measured her the other day. It is a female. We had her sexed. Well, I did it actually. I need to breed her. I don't know anybody exactly that has a male. I adopted her from Petco actually, and when I got her, they said that she was very mean, and she was for a while, but
God damn.
As you can tell, she's not little. She just ate. I want to point out a few.
She wants to go play with Midnight.
Yeah. Point out a few disclaimers, a few myths. They say that after any snake eats, you're not allowed to touch, handle, or disturb them for at least 24 to 48 hours. That's not completely true. She just ate about an hour ago, maybe 2. It's probably about 11:30 at night, so we're sitting here bored. Me and my girlfriend, we have nothing to do.
Don't put me in this.
And they say that snakes aren't good around other animals. That's not completely true. With my dog Midnight, which
he's like whatever.
Yeah, he didn't really care.
I don't think he likes her tongue.
Which apparently she wants to meet him pretty bad. There's a few things.
Is that how we get Midnight off the end of the bed?
Yeah. There's a few things. This was not my first snake. My first snake was a reticulated ball python. Slick, which I no longer have. He should have named him Houdini because somehow he got out of his terrarium and disappeared permanently.
And in the duck fence.
Yeah, I adopted her, and if anybody is from Tennessee, during the May floods, the weekend before, I went to buy some rats for Slick, which is my python, and they were out, and a woman that was there was a good friend of mine, and she just so happened to bring some from where she lived because she had some snakes with her, and she gave me a few of them, and I saw her, and I wanted her. Well, they have a policy that any animal that has to be adopted has to be there at least 3 days before they can be adopted out. Well, about 2-3 weeks went by, and I went down there and asked them if they still had her, and they did, and I told them to sign up the paperwork because I wanted her, and I took her home. She's 5 foot long. She's a really pretty snake. You can tell. Really agile. She's very excited to see the camera apparently. Very pretty color.
Okay, but she bite me in its home.
What a lot of people don't know, and they can get pretty scared about for young kids, when you hold a snake, the end of their tail tends to want to wrap on almost anything. Fingers, hands, wrists, what have you.
I think she wants back in her cage.
Yeah. I have
lay on the bed.
Here, watch her.
Blood.
I have just a plain tank. Not exactly sure on how big it is. It's probably about 4 foot in length, I'm guessing. Just a regular size water dish, corner water dish that you can buy almost anywhere. Has a slide top.
She's being stubborn.
And a lot of people, they always talking about heat lamps, this, that, and the other. and talking about the difference between, like, you have your hot zone and then your cool zone and then between. For some reason she
likes a heating pad.
Doesn't really like the lamp too much. She prefers a pad, which I had her in a smaller tank when I moved, because my mother had a chinchilla in this cage because I had lost her for 3 months, which I advise don't put your snake into any other cage if it's even slightly the size of her head. I'm going to show you what I had her in. I've had her in for a couple weeks. It tends to work. I had her in this thing. It's just a little hamster cage, which you can see the heating pad in the bottom. It's got the cord.
Do you think my tongue is something you can eat? I would kill you.
She's very pretty. Yeah, you see if I can get the glow that she can produce. I think she's either get ready to shed or is already shed. If you can see, I don't know how well on the camera it is, but she's got a blue tint in her. There's a lot of different ways of telling, but this is particular one way to tell what kind of snake she is. Huh? I'm looking for a male, preferably. If anybody's got one, I would really like to breed her. But with the heating situation, I've just got, you know, just a basic flood lamp, you know, or whatever you want to call it. You can go to Walmart to buy one, Kmart, anywhere's accessible, I guess. I feed her frozen, which we measured her before she lost, and she was like 4.5 foot, so she grew a good few inches, you know. And they say a disclaimer about if a snake eats live bait that they will not eat frozen. That's not true. They'll eat just about anything, or at least she will. She's not very picky. They have a...
Her name's Slithery Wittery.
No, my mother calls her that.
She's Slithery Wittery.
My mother hates snakes, reptiles, anything. If it doesn't have fur, she doesn't like it. But she's very pretty. She's got, you know, a real good coloration. And I don't know about a lot of people, but I found this kind of weird.
Don't attack me.
A lot of snakes don't like to be rubbed much, but for some reason she enjoys under her neck being rubbed pretty fairly. She's getting ready to start shedding. She's starting to molt. You can see her colors kind of faded out a little bit, but for substrate I use the pine. That's just my personal preference, just because I've found that when you use like reptile bark or anything like that, I tend to get like gnats. Regardless of the time of the year, I tend to get them. But when I use the pine, I don't necessarily get them at all. But you can go to like any Petco or pet store of any kind, and you can get the untreated pine shavings. That's what I'm using. You know, that way it doesn't harm your animals or snakes or whatever.
Look at her. Very content.
Very, very content. I don't know if you can see her eyes, but she's got beautiful eyes. You know, she's really pretty. She's got good coloration.
She looks like a damn peacock.
When the light shines on her a certain way, she's got like this blue tint.
Hey, there's the rat.
You know. But for a lot of people that don't know, snakes are very, very good pets in my opinion. But I wouldn't get anything that he couldn't handle. In my opinion, the first snake that I would have probably chose if I have any kids for them to take care of would be corn snakes, just because they don't get beyond 4 feet long. Really, there's not much needed. One of the main reasons why I'm making this video is because they show how to sex snakes, but they don't show on larger snakes. Only about a foot or two, or babies, or juvenile snakes. And she's about 4 or 5 foot long. Well, she's 5.5, about an inch. So I'm guessing she's a juvenile. But you can go on YouTube and you can look up how to sex them. Not too hard. And I'm really sure that she's a female because she's beautiful. One of the prettiest snakes I believe I've ever seen. And as you can tell, she's got, starting about here is where her body ends, and then she's got a real fine tail. Oh, my girl. And I don't know about a lot of people, but especially with her tail is extremely sharp for some reason. Like if she stabbed me a couple times, and it does hurt. But
she's got blue tint to her.
That's my Redtail Boa, and hope y'all enjoyed the video.